Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to our early afternoon update. I'm Victoria Holmes here in the digital studio. We're starting off with the developing story on COVID cases at ECU. Officials have identified a cluster of cases at Gateway Residence Hall. A cluster is defined as 5 or more cases deemed in the same proximity or location. The individuals have been identified and contact tracing is underway. As of right now, classes are still in session and students are reminded to follow safety precautions. Democrats kicked off their virtual convention last night. Main topics of the night included racial justice, the pandemic, and the recession. An appearance by Michelle Obama dominated the night. She criticized the Trump administration's handling of the pandemic, saying the president cannot be who America needs him to be. The former First Lady urged Americans to request mail-in ballots. She also encouraged Americans to follow COVID-19 safety precautions and to be prepared for standing in line all night if they plan to vote in person. DNC Day 2 is underway, and tonight the Democrats will conduct the official roll call of the state delegations. Former President Bill Clinton and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are among the key speakers. Back in North Carolina, the unemployed will get an extra $400 a week starting Monday, August 31st. The money will be retroactive to August 1st. That's when the $600 a week payments from the federal government stopped. FEMA is only funding 3 weeks up front. Afterwards, states will have to go back each week to see if funding is still available. When we come back, protests at the Postmaster General's house and his call to testify before Congress. But first, a weather update from our meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko, reporting from the First Alert Weather Center on a typical summer day across eastern North Carolina, featuring lots of sunshine and increased heat and humidity. As we take you through Precision Cast for the rest of your Tuesday, you'll notice ample sunshine and, again, the lack of shower and thunderstorm activity. The showers and storms, they'll remain isolated in nature and confined to a sea breeze. By later this afternoon into the evening, the shower and thunderstorm activity will diminish quickly as the sun sets. That will leave us behind with quiet conditions overnight and a calm start to the day on Wednesday, featuring some patchy fog and increasing clouds. Those increasing clouds during the day Wednesday, all ahead of a frontal system that will move into eastern North Carolina Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening with an uptick in shower and thunderstorm activity. If you're looking to track those showers and storms not only Wednesday but through the end of the week, downloading that free First Alert weather app will act as a great tool to do just that. Your 7-day inland forecast, again, calling for an uptick in shower and thunderstorm activity beginning tomorrow. As for the rest of today, it's going to be seasonably hot and humid with temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s inland and middle to upper 80s along the coast. Over the next several days for both inland and coastal communities, the one thing that will remain consistent are those temperatures. They'll remain seasonable in the middle to upper 80s with, of course, that weekend preview showing some partly sunny skies returning along with just a slight chance for an isolated shower or storm either day. Make it a terrific Tuesday. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko.
There's nationwide outcry against the leadership at the U.S. Postal Service. Over the weekend, people protested in Greensboro outside the home of Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. Since taking office, he authorized various cutbacks for the Postal Service, like cutting overtime and removing sorting machines. North Carolina is among more than 40 states that recently got letters from the Postal Service. The messages warn people not to wait until too close to Election Day to request and send back ballots. And now, North Carolina Attorney General, along with other states, are considering a lawsuit against the Postal Service. Our D.C. Bureau has more.
A number of state attorneys general are now considering a lawsuit against the Postal Service.
Dismantling mail sorting machines. They're telling postal carriers they cannot work overtime. They cannot take an extra trip. They have to leave mail behind.
North Carolina's Attorney General Josh Stein and other attorneys general are concerned those changes are designed to slow the mail in the run-up to the election.
What we cannot have is North Carolinians who are eligible to vote, want to vote, and comply with the law not have their vote counted.
Stein says the changes may be politically motivated. Recently appointed Postmaster General Louis DeJoy was a big supporter of President Trump's 2016 campaign.
It's natural to have some skepticism. The president expressly said he doesn't want to encourage mail-in voting.
But today, President Trump said his aim is to improve the Postal Service.
I have encouraged everybody, speed up the mail, not slow the mail.
President Trump said structural changes to the Postal Service are necessary. to address budget shortfalls that go back years before his presidency.
I also want to have a post office that runs without losing billions and billions of dollars a year. We're going to run it well, and we're going to not lose so much money.
And White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said Sunday some of the changes were approved before DeJoy came into his role.
The President of the United States is not going to interfere with anybody casting their vote in a legitimate way.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's calling all U.S. House members back to Washington, interrupting their August recess, to vote on a bill that would provide an extra $25 billion to the Postal Service and outlaw any service changes until after the pandemic.
Because of their assault on the postal system affecting the choice people have to make between their health and their vote come election if they can't vote by mail.
They want to bail out a federal agency or a quasi-federal agency so that they can mail ballots.
But Republican Congressman Larry Bucshon from Indiana says Democrats are overreacting, especially on their funding plans.
There's no reason why the Postal Service can't deliver mail-in balloting right now without an extra $25 billion.
In Washington, I'm Joe Khalil.
And speaking of voting, today marks the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment. The hard-fought battle lasted decades. The 19th Amendment was first drafted in 1875 by Susan B. Anthony and introduced in Congress in 1878. In honor of the anniversary, President Trump is giving Anthony a posthumous pardon for an 1872 crime. She voted, breaking the law of the time. Thank you for tuning in to our early afternoon update. I'm Victoria Holmes here in the digital studio.